like Dignitas is taking dance classes now and Zuna forgets it?
You know, we missed the dance and also the yelling. Like, he yells a lot when they're in big team fights that they're
Vocal
winning.
warfare.
They need to start winning a lot more of those team fights, and then we'll get more singing and dancing.
Zuna not going to get Olaf again, and ManCloud will not get either of his assassins.
So like I said, XDG knows their weak points. Everybody else knows their weak points too. The new jungler and the new AD carry. So what you want to do going at this team is obviously focus on the new guys here. Since Zuna's been playing all AD carry champions, if you ban out some of the jungle champions, the ones that he's been doing well on, then you force him onto some newer ground, newer territory. He won't be as experienced. He won't feel as comfortable. And the other thing you can do is invade him early, put the early pressure on him.
And with the trinity of supports being banned, Annie is the first pick over for Dig.
So both of these guys still putting a very high value on Annie. Even though the stun duration was taken down a little bit, she's still a very potent support. She was not killed by any means. The other thing I want to see with that bottom lane is that Jinx has been the most highly prized AD carry for both of these two AD carries. You know, both of the wins for Dignitas came when QTPie got Jinx. But
first pick.
Some small changes to Jinx in this patch, you know, a little bit lower early health and a little bit longer arm time on the Flame Choppers. Still a high priority.
Still want to get it. It wasn't the first pick. QTPie was like, get me that when they played against Cloud9. It was first. And we see on the other side, who's going to give Scar a Gragas? No one. They take it.
Exactly. If you're not going to ban the Gragas, then you want to pick it away very early. So they were able to get secure mid laner for ManCloud and a jungler that Zuna feels comfortable off. The Olaf was banned, so they wanted to get something for Zuna as soon as possible. Snagging up that Elise, even though he didn't have the best game already, it's one of the champions that he does have playtime on, so they want it.
Dignitas says it's okay to leave that be. A wave clear versus wave clear here if Ziggs does actually get locked in, and there it is.
Now, Ziggs is a champion where you only have to throw your bombs close to whatever you're trying to kill here. He's amazing at staying far back and wave clearing. So Skara can have a little bit easier time here just CSing and pressuring turrets. In the late game, it always gives you that out really too. As late game, we can be a siege composition, you know, especially with someone like Jinx. It's perfect AD carry to go along with him. Can also poke and do a lot of damage to the turrets.
I don't want to talk too fast here, but I was going to say we've completely dodged out of a lot of the frontline meta, the Mundo Shyvana kind of being overlooked here. We have Vi's last pick. Crumbs is going to love that. He can control the game easily on that pick.
Yeah, the thing is, when you lock in Renekton early, it's basically stating, I've got early game top lane. What are you going to do? So they leave their top lane pick till later because they've already seen, yes, you guys are going early game, top lane pressure. Renekton, pretty much anybody that they pick to go up against that is going to get bullied around early. Pulling in the Shen is something that's only just sort of started to see a resurgence. I'm very interested to see how well Shen can actually deal with that early few levels from Renekton.
And I'm not surprised they're putting him in the top lane. Diamond actually tried it in the jungle yesterday, and it just didn't come forward enough.
Whenever Diamond tries something that nobody else has tried, you're just like, oh, he must know something.
Well, he was like 2-0. He was 2-0-1 at one point, and you're like, he's going to make this work.
But yeah, nobody else quite jumping on that jungle Shen train very early here. And the Wriggles thing either. That'll take some convincing before other people pick it up.
At least for you.
For me, definitely, yeah.
So while the teams load into the game, let's check out who you think is going to take the first win of the day. According to LOLesports.com, 68% of you think Dignitas will come out on top.
Pretty good percentage here. They've got definitely the crowd behind them, and they beat Cloud9.
Maybe a few people bandwagoning off that.
There's been a lot of logic circling around the internet how they're now the best team in the LCS because they beat Cloud9.
Absolutely. Well,
there's a couple flaws in the logic, but this is a good start.
Yeah,
it was a good start for them. They're on the up here.
So, Gragas obviously not going to Scar this time, but they still want it in the game. It's been such a high priority pick. All the wave clear seems to be the bee's knees right now.
I really like, especially the early Gragas picks, because Gragas is a champion that can be played in so many different roles. He's really strong in the jungle as well. He's just a great all-around pick. Not very easy to hard counter. So Skara taking Ziggs into that has opted for, I can have the safer lane here. I'm going to have so much more range than Gragas. I'm going to try and stay away from the early body slams, and he should be able to just wave clear and have a pretty calm early game.
And he does provide a uniqueness in picks, at least right now, because we've seen him in the jungle too, so it's a little bit of a mind game there.
I think that we will have to see, since Zuna has stated that he was probably not going to gank as much mid for ManCloud. You know, without the early Elise gank mid, how is ManCloud going to deal with the Ziggs? Because Ziggs has a Vi in the jungle on his side. Skara and Crumbs could easily combine for an all-in on Mandatory Cloud. And if they get him behind again, you know, that's kind of been the story in the losses here for XDG. They really used to count a lot on Mandatory Cloud to carry games.
And actually, as a take a quick pause right here, let's take a look at the bottom lane. If you didn't see the inventories, a Spell Thief's Edge coming in on the Sona for Bloodwater.
So that, it really tells your opponent what kind of playstyle you're going for. You're like, yes, I'm going to be in your face. I'm going to be getting off these auto attacks. Right. The whole point of this item is for you know, gold generation off those auto attacks, and it's very similar to a Doran's Ring start, which we see on Annie, except that he will have the gold edge as long as he doesn't come out, you know, behind on the kill trades.
So we got Kiwi Kid with a few visual effects. Maybe minions are throwing flashes or ignites. Who knows? Everybody gets that sometimes. It's fun to see, but they're going to get it fixed up. Looking at the compositions here, we have a little time before we revolve back into the game. Shen is in the composition. It kind of puts a halt on everything that everyone wants to do until he's ready.
So it's pretty funny, you know, XCG were always really big proponents of using Shen and Twisted Fate. They really like the globals coming in late game.
Yeah.
So they're a team that really coordinates their globals well, even in the early game. As soon as Shen does hit level 6, the rest of the lanes you can see will start playing more aggressive and try and bait the Dignitas members and other lanes into fights because they know they've got this Shen in their back pockets that can join the fight. Problem is, Renekton, if he's close enough, he can get up there and stun you.
Now we see actually Benny taking Ignite as well. Obviously, like guys, well, obviously they may not kill each other in lane, but how'd that work out in Renekton Shen?
You need some sort of combat summoner if you're going up against Renekton, I think.
He just bullies you.
He wants the extra fight power there. He doesn't want to be completely steamrolled. It's pretty interesting though because starting with that Spell Thieves, I would think that they might even look for 2v1s if I was seeing this a while ago. But with the new patch that we're on right now, you know, the top and mid lanes with the extra damage reduction from champions, 2v1s have become a lot less infrequent. We've still seen them though. You know, European LCS, there were still several 2v1 switches. This one does not look like they're lining up that way though.
We'll see what they have. They do get the strong laning phase out of Caitlyn and Sona. You're going to take power chords, like you were saying. The damage comes from that. So the 2v1 could work in their favor.
Yeah, so that lane down there, if it does end up 2 versus 2, is all going to be about this XCG team trying to get those auto attacks harass off that we talked about. Caitlyn is a great one to pair with if you're going to start that Spell Thieves because both of them are going to be having the same idea. They want to build up a good minion wave and then get their long-range auto-attack trades in and be protected by those extra ranged minions. So I have to see which of these duo lanes actually helps the jungler on their first buff. Maybe they both don't help their jungler and they try and get to lane early so they don't get pushed in early.
Well, that would be scary, especially if Dig got that early too on Jinx and Annie. Even with the Flame Chompers a little reduced there.
The combo definitely, it's harder to pull off now, and we'll have to see how good the dancing between Kiwi Pie has actually increased their communication, because you have to be really spot on now.
Oh, BM. Wow.
Skara is, he's changed as well. He's grown hard, cold in his old age.
We're still seeing a bit more of the spread out. We saw a few early invades coming from Fnatic yesterday. They were really nice, using a sweeper ward in the top lane. But none of that here, unfortunately. Still the standard.
Yeah, everybody going with the warding trinkets, and all of XDG going with the drop early trinket wards to see the invades. But not a lot of action from Dig here. So it looks like it'll be the standard start. And with all those trinket wards dropped so early, I always like to point out how around the time the junglers have double buffs, really the map goes dark, and it's a very scary game for the laners because everybody knows once you get to that point, like 3 minutes or something, junglers could come out of the woodworks.
It's really that hold your breath moment and see what happens. Looking in the mid lane, we actually have the Biscuit and the support tree against Pot, Ring Man and Pot for ManCloud.
Both of these duo lanes here fighting over the minion waves. Like we said, they're both trying to get the early shove going in their favor.
Yeah.
Comes out neutral, though. It was a good job by Dignitas to get that early trade in, but that means no stun for Annie. This early levels, if he already blows his stun, it takes a long time to actually charge it back up because he only has 1 or 2 spells to work with.
We'll see if they can work them against Bloodwater. We know Sona is a squishy champion, and as Zuna is on the bottom side of his jungle, a lot of aggression towards the AD carries, and we'll see if the junglers are brought here very early.
Oh, stun is back up. He's been able to spam out his spells down to half mana and get 1 more ready. But Bloodwater is doing a great job sustaining up with the Sona, and it looks like he is getting a lot of benefit out of that Spell Thieves already. As long as he's not under kill pressure here, it should turn out well.
And Zuna is feeling that Spidey sense in the bottom lane. We're going to have a ward being walked over here by Cutie Pie, so they are aware of his presence just off in the distance. They may try to bait this into their favor.
Yeah, both junglers are going to walk onto wards because the side bush is warded, so Zuna knows where Crumbs is, and Crumbs knows where Zuna is. It's a waiting game.
That should have been an easy call for XDG to say that River is, or the lane bush is warded for them. So you see him backing off. Both junglers return to farming it up. And Cruiser in the top lane is trying to pressure Benny back into his lane right now. Give him a little push.
That is kind of annoying as a jungler. I make my way all the way to your lane to gank you, and then you wait till I'm there to tell me that the side bush is warded? Come on, man.
You're always pinging, you're trying to get him to tell you. Not happening. Crumbs putting down a little bit of safety here. Skara, actually safety on both sides of top and mid, and those are fresh wards, so he's going to be able to maybe go really aggressive here, and they could return to that.
All right, he is coming in for the Elise gank. Classic mid lane Elise.
A very nice job. Zuna actually stays clear of the ward. He throws out the cocoon. Skara chooses the flash over the dodge.
All right, so Skara having to burn his flash means he's going to need better ward coverage. He put one in the side bush there, but Zuna came around at the perfect time when the lane was shoved up. That's when he knows he can gank from this little dark area, and it was a really good job to get that summoner down because now Skara will have to play a lot more defensively with ManCloud. I guess they have worked on their mid lane and jungle synergy here. It's looking a bit better already.
Yeah, why not go mid or even top because they have the synergy. It's such good kill potential coming from both lanes. And a great work by Zuna and ManCloud there discussing the wards. 5 minutes in, we have seen a bit of aggression there that Skara is going to have to work with. Usually with his flash down, he's still going for those extra minions, so he could be in trouble.
Meanwhile, top, that ward just disappeared in the tri-bush for Renekton and Cruiser. Oh, the timing just a little bit off there. That's harsh.
He is right in kill zone there. Not going to stack those. That was pretty well placed out in the first blood going over to Zuna out of the jungle.
Yeah, that's the problem on the new patch. Everyone relying on these trinket wards. That sucker disappears in 1 minute, and he did not have the coverage there, so Zuna gets in for a beautiful gank. This one rewarded with the kill. Good thing for Cruiser, though, he did not burn his flash right there because he knew he was dead. No panic flashing from him. At least he was able to hold on to the summoner cooldown.
Playing it calm, and really that's the story for XDG right now. Moving around the map, very solid. Right now sitting on these wards, so it's going to slow down Zuna a bit. But Skara, more than happy to stay under the turret with his flash down.
Yeah, like we said, he's going to want to play more defensively. He wants to pick up more wards before he gets out there.
Right.
And he is that Ziggs with a long range, so he has the option of standing back.
Both teams have that as it comes up to it, that level 6 that's going to impact team fights across the map. And we see Crumbs coming in here. Looks like he's not really going to have too much help from the team. You can see Cutie Pie saying, oh, sorry.
Yeah, and because Zuno had the successful ganks, Crumbs is a level behind him now. So I would really expect Crumbs to try and hard farm the jungle for the duration until he gets to level 6. Because that's when you're going to get your guaranteed gank. He really needs a successful one. Scar, though, up at the turret, no ward in the side push, so at any sign of aggression from ManCloud, he's going to start backing off. You can see there.
Yep.
ManCloud walks forward, he tries to walk back.
Oh, he gets him! Oh, can he use the ducky? It's going to go down without being used. It gets flattened, and it looks like Scar is going to be hit one more time. Zuna coming up with 2 kills for himself.
Has flash. He wants
looking for
to
the kill.
Go for it.
Zuna tried to get in front of him as well. The 2 flashes go down, but it's Benny with level 6 just in time, and Crumbs is forced to back away. They do have it. The flash taunt. They turn it around, and they put him in the ground.
I was talking about how quickly XDG used the global ultimates here. That was a beautiful job by Benny. coming in to save ManCloud, and also Crumbs just overextended. This is kind of a classic mentality that you get into when you're a jungler that's behind on ganks. Since Zuna's making so many successful moves, Crumbs felt like he had to back up. His mid laner and answer something. They didn't want to give that kill away for free, but it causes him to overextend there, burning his flash, and a good job, again, by Zuna picking up the kill. That was just really why they lock in this Elise very early. After the Olaf ban, they want him on a comfortable champion, obviously paying off.
So we see the globals now being very effective as they make a small resurgent in. A lot of people forgetting that they're there, and we saw that cost Dignitas a bit of ground. 1,000 gold in the lead because of that mishap. 3 kills in their favor have come, and 2 for Zuna. He has been beautifully. He said he had no synergy, or not no synergy with the mid lane, but he still has synergy with the mid lane.
It looks like they're actively working to change that here, and it's working out very well for him. So it was a good adaptation. Maybe the video was just a troll, and they were trying to redirect everybody, saying, yeah, for sure, I'll gank for Benny's lane all the time.
Possibly.
Just kidding. Spends every moment mid.
Blue over to ManCloud. He is really going to be able to start to control that lane with Skara being down the kill. ManCloud already having that extra regen for himself. Should stay nice and safe. Kiwi Kid now to return to the bottom lane. This is going to get scary soon as they're approaching that 6.
Yeah, Zuna, again, ganking already. He has been just on a war path here, ganking all lanes and burning summoner spells or getting kills pretty much every single time. So very successful job from him. And it's always really been Crumbs on the back foot here trying to respawn. Now, though, Vi with level 6, they do have a pretty big advantage, because Elise at level 6 doesn't get that huge game-changing ultimate. They do have the vision advantage for XDG here, though, so they might overextend.
Kiwi Kid goes a little close. They don't know Zuna's in the bush. They quickly turn it around. Kiwi Kid is now being chased out, but they've already taken down Xmitty. It's all about the refocus now, and it's going to be down. The crescendo hits. No way. He just saved Zuna. They get the auto attacks in from the extra damage on the rocket of Cutie Pie's Jinx. The turnaround kill from Zuna. No, it actually comes from Bloodwater in the hit.
He's upgraded his Spell Thieves into a Frostfang, and his power chords hurt like a mofo.
Bloodwater making it work for his team. Zuna gets out alive. He's actually tilting back to this one. They want to catch Cutie Pie off guard. I don't think they're going to be able to get it. He's showing himself in the minions just for wave clear in that lane. But so much aggression here. A different Zuna on Elise. This is not the play we saw with him on that champion before.
Man, yeah, I think it is, again, Crumbs is really looking to answer here, and it's causing him to be over-aggressive. They wanted to get 2 kills out of that bottom because, you know, they got the first one, and he really is trying to get his team back in this.
Yeah.
But a little bit too far up there and underestimating that damage coming out of Bloodwater.
A lot of people have actually been leaving Elise up for XDG because Zuna didn't do well in his second game, but it looks like he prepped a little bit of work over the week. He prepped a little bit more. 5-1 is the kills here. 10.5 minutes in as Skara eagerly just tries to clear this wave before it gets to the turret. Shouldn't miss any on that, but they are still down, and that's almost nearing 2,000 gold right now, quite early in the game.
Plus, Elise, one of the champions that can do early dragons here, Pink Ward inside the dragon. As long as he uses spiders to tank the damage, it's almost a trivial task for him. I'm surprised that they actually did not go for it there because bottom lane was shoved in. It looks like that was a call that someone was suggesting because the bottom lane actually did hover up towards the dragon, and you know, someone actually made the call to cancel that. I think Zuna wanted to buy.
See what focus they have on the bottom lane. Both junglers are towards that top side, so it would be just apart from the 2v2. Ults are up for Cutie Pie and Kiwi Kid. We'll see what happens. It looks like that's going to be on to Crumbs right now. Crumbs with his, always has that on his mouse. He doesn't like his hand to get sweaty, so he actually puts a cloth on his mouse.
Can you see what's on the cloth, though?
Somebody told me it was Bugs Bunny.
It's like a cartoon. Okay, Bugs Bunny. Classic.
Maybe. Could be something. I thought it was Winnie the Pooh before, and then somebody tweeted me, and it was not correct.
You don't want to use false info. That would be terrible. Yeah, cameraman, do a good job. Zoom in on that sucker.
Damn.
What do we got there? CSI this.
I see it.
So he used it.
Looks like 80% con, 29
The story
run.
is he started out using it because like his hand got fairly wet, or it was getting kind of sweaty.
There you go. That's a good word for it.
That's a better word, yeah. And he didn't want to.
The other one, see, it's sweaty on the keyboard.
Yeah, exactly.
He's working.
But once he used it one time, You kind of get in the habit. And then it's like, oh, I played really well with this cloth, so now he has to have this specific one.
Is that like Donald or something?
It's so hard to tell. All right, we're going to have
You know what? It's going to try to win him this game. You know,
it's Sylvester.
Bam.
This crowd is way
They got
better
it.
than we are. That's
Well, we got to be here
Thank God
early.
we have a
They
live
can watch
audience
the
now,
Saturday
Riv.
morning cartoons.
Where would we be without a live audience?
We would be
We'd
up,
be thinking it's Bugs Bunny. Yes.
up the creek without a Sylvester. That's for damn sure.
All right. So
Waiting for him. Crumbs actually, his chat box went zoop. So being the shot caller, you got to be 23D, 2624R blue. So he's got to get that chat box locked.
exactly the timers. He's going to have to keep
There we
track
go.
of the dragon that's about to go down too. With that pink ward for XDG, they can make a move pretty much whenever they want. Like I said, Elise is amazing at taking dragons, not only because the spiders can tank it, but her percentage damage that everybody likes to talk about.
And we look around. Let's take stock of the inventories here after our quick break. I know everybody ran to the bathroom real quick. We do have a Tiamat's coming out on Cruiser in the top lane to start off that one.
It is a build that I'm a fan of because it sort of extends Renekton's early game bullying period. He can clear waves really fast, but if you clear waves really fast and you're always shoving up, then you expose yourself to ganks. Well, Zuna's doing a good job here. He may have been seen getting... I don't know why Cruiser's playing so far back. During the pause, I kind of got distracted, but he might have seen Zuna sneak into that bush.
Yeah, he didn't blow the flash or ignite earlier, so he can still be aggressive, but he's definitely playing in the mentality that somebody is always in the brush next to me. It's usually a good way to play.
Yeah, and he does have his CS lead on Shen, so he's given a little bit back right now, but he's saving his life for it. So a couple minion lives, definitely worth the life of Renekton.
And now that we're hitting 6, you can actually see Kiwi Kids building up towards that Talisman of Ascension, and Sona's not. So where's the initiation come from that?
Flash crescendos. Bloodwater is
just
a
going to
huge
have
fan.
to.
Yeah, he's a huge fan of just the flash crescendos. That as well as Shen can teleport on Elise. If Zuna's able to repel in, then he could have a Shen backing him up. Usually, Elise has to be very careful about being the one on the front lines and repelling in because she won't have an escape.
Wow.
But if there's a Shen to back her up, which there is, then he can be a little bit more aggressive. And this is what I was talking about before, how easy it is for Elise
crushing dragon
to tank the dragons.
Haunting Guy's Sork boots, immediate buy there, and he's only going to take not even 25% of his HP.
Also, a good thing about the new changes for the jungle items, even just with that Spirit Stone, you get so much life and mana back from doing damage to jungle monsters. It really helped all of the damage-heavy junglers.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of tanks before, but we've seen an increase now of the assassins and higher damage junglers because you basically get lifesteal off of jungle minions now because of that item, and you get mana back.
And Smithy has finished up that Bloodthirster in lane, which means he's definitely putting a little bit more gold in his pocket per CS he gets. We did say that he's down, and we see Cutie Pie actually building the Scepter right now. So he opted to go straight into his boots and not finish the Bloodthirster.
Yeah, probably has to do with gold values when he was backing there. But Jinx definitely does benefit a lot from attack speed with her minigun, getting those stacks up quicker.
That is true. 129 to 116 there, as we said. 138 to 148. We really thought, Scar and ManCloud would kind of be duking it out in this mid lane, but they're giving each other a lot of respect.
They are, especially from the early game aggression.
Yeah.
Scar was kind of, he had to play a little bit more defensively.
Bumped around a bit.
After you get ganked a couple times like that, you're going to back off. Zuna with another repeat visit bottom. I like that he is visiting other lanes besides top because they know that Shen can join here as well. So if Crumbs counter ganks, they have another man.
There's the crescendo right out of the brush, and it's got going to be the Flame Choppers to help the exit. Cutie Pie keeps himself safe, though.
So Zuna's idea there to flash and then repel in was get Benny deeper with him, but it was just a little bit too late, and he burned his extra summoner. Still, successful kill. The problem is they don't get an objective after because the dragon's already dead.
Zuna getting a little bit too low on this one. Misses the zap, but the rocket comes in huge, and they're able to come up with their own kill on that one.
Meanwhile, they did a rotation where Benny goes mid,
and
he's still burning.
Oh, no! Oh, that would have been cool if he died in the air. He was trying to give it to us.
Rubber ducky just got popped. That was a sad death. But they did a good rotation there. the reason they got that kill was because Benny, since he teleported bottom and there was no objective to take, he rotated up to mid while calling for ManCloud to do the same, going up to top here and take his spot. So they didn't lose out on CS, and they got an extra kill there with Benny finding Skara away from the turret.
Oh, Cruiser blowing the flash right there to keep himself in a safe bounce distance. He has no mitigation for what ManCloud's bringing there.
So this was Skara trying to roam down. Maybe he was looking at bottom lane because he ran right into Shen here and had a really tough time. As we saw, he's going to keep on burning. Rubber Ducky doesn't help.
That is quite unfortunate, but you can see Benny, right spot at the right time, and it looks like the team is actually going to be able to get his turret. He wants to participate, but he starts to back off.
You see these movements down by Dragon as well. Since XDG showed 2 members top, it was a good response by Dignitas. They're like, okay, there's 2 top junglers up there. We should probably go for a Dragon to trade. But Dragon was already taken, soloed by Zuna.
Yep.
Wah, wah, wah. XDG outplayed.
And we look at that, Crumbs hasn't had too much of an effect on the lanes. He got those early ganks towards the mid lane, but he's 20 CS up, so he's been kind of keeping to himself in the jungle.
Also, a lot of the times when one jungler is very successful with their ganks, the other jungler will get higher CS because they go to the lane that someone just died in, and some of those are lane minions that their CS is accounted for, so that can be a little bit of a shady number to rely on.
Flash, looking for Bloodwater right now, is not up, but he does have Crescendo, so they can still go for quite a big initiation on that side. Shen, Stand United is something they are waiting on, but it looks like they're going to focus somewhat towards mid. They have to rotate back, though, because Dignitas doesn't seem like they want to give up this laning phase too much.
Yeah, I think XDG right now should just be defending this turret because, like you said, the Stand United's not available, and Shen's got a very long lane up there since the turret's already down. He's not going to be offering any sort of support, so they call in Zuna, which is great to have one of those ranged junglers so that he can help defend a turret without having to overextend himself.
Right.
Problem here, since we're already heading towards the mid game here at only 18 minutes and XG has such a big lead, is that Renekton never got a chance to get to his health item. Usually right after the Tiamat, they'll go some sort of defense item, but he doesn't have that since he was bullied in so early, and the team fight is going to be very hard for Dignitas with no real tank yet.
There we go. We'll see what Benny can do to him. He's not really going up against somebody that would assassinate you, but you can see Benny's winning that fight. He's got the build and the lead on Shen right now, and even 20 CS ahead. It's hard to deal with for Cruiser.
Yeah, he's got the extra global gold from objectives from his team, and then even the assists and 1 kill is going to make up for that CS. So Shen with the split pushing potential means that XGG have a very clear path towards the end game. If they just keep on having him ward up that side of the jungle, then they're going to have the global advantage, and they're doing a pretty good job taking extra damage on the mid turret for it.
And how's this going to work for Dignitas coming back? It seems like they kind of have an AoE-focused team fight comp, and they're going up against that split push.
That's one of the things that's good for them is they have a Ziggs. So Ziggs is great at stalling out. Wow, this is a very interesting fight up top here. What did you do? What? He burned his Dominus already, and there was nothing spectacular that was going to come out there. He was flashing away from the cooldown. I believe he thought Renekton's stun was about to come up.
Possibly. I thought Benny had that one, but he knows better. Plays it safe. Both of them get their hard hat on and live through that as they limp away. We see Benny is back, but Stand United's up. There's the clear from Ziggs, and this is that siege potential to stop that they have.
Right. So as we were trying to talk about, Ziggs has enough wave clear for 1.5 lanes. Like, he can use his ultimate for the side lane, and then he uses regular abilities to clear the mid lane. All this while, because so much attention was played towards the top, they do a good job in getting in for the second dragon, which they saw just pop up on their map. They actually didn't have the timer for that one, so it was a very good reactive play for them. They just swung from bottom turret over to dragon. 2 objectives for all that time that was spent.
I see Crumbs chatting it up on your screen right now. They are in their jungle trying to grab up resources before the next engagement. It looks like it's going to be on mid turret. They haven't given up on this.
Taking down all of the outer turrets now for XCG, and since Dignitas has taken up the dragon already, it means that there's not going to be a lot of easy objectives for XCG to go after and try and force something, which is unfortunate for them because now they have their Stand United, and that's exactly what they would want to do. So they're going to rely on trying to pick somebody out here We'll have to probably see some increase in ward coverage focus from everybody. So we are seeing a lot of sweepers coming in here.
Right. Now, talking about picking somebody out, our featured matchup is Zuna versus Crumbs in the jungle, and right now that's 5-1-1 versus 0-2-2. So Zuna's just really having a great game.
And he's building more damage too. Like you can see, it's sort of, he's got health, but he's also got the extra penetration build. He went early penetration because he got early kills. Sorc Shoes plus Haunting Guys is enough offensive items for Elise to be able to still assassinate squishy champions like Jinx.
And usually you see Vi going for kind of a damaging build as well, but he goes Golem. Is that the change up because he's behind?
I mean, it's really taster's choice there on what kind of Vi you want to go for. Generally, when you're behind, you want to go more tanky, just so you can actually have an impact when you go in. But you know, it's really up to the jungler which one. They're both very strong items. I think he wants the extra tenacity early, just in case he does get caught in taunts and crescendos.
Well, here he goes, getting Zuna caught up in a good punch to the face. Zuna goes, the crescendo comes down. So much HP is missing from Dignitas right now, and XDG turns this fight around. Crumbs thought they had the initiation on the peekaboo there.
Amazing AoE from actually both teams. Yes, the flash crescendo was beautiful and caught everyone, but Skara is going to answer here. So we'll see this jump on Zuna. The arm time very low there on the Chompers. He actually got the repel off too. So that's a 4-man crescendo and then a huge Gragas ult from ManCloud. But even so, Skara was able to answer with so much Ziggs AoE that they also got to an answer. Actually a very good job for Dignitas there. You know, trading when you're behind isn't the worst thing. So they're not too far behind here. This is not an insurmountable lead for Dignitas. They just need to turtle up, use the Ziggs wave clear for a while, and wait for a good opportunity to catch someone out again. Because as we just saw there, Crumbs can capitalize on someone who's out of position quite easily.
Oh, very big damage there. Can't get the follow-up. Bloodwater looking like he could be in a bad position here. Zuna's trying to say something about it. Bloodwater loses all the HP required and goes down. Oh, already up again. The Assault and Battery goes on to ManCloud this time. If they can take out the initial damage, it may not be that hard to win the rest of the fight. Oh, he gets it with the rocket on the backside, and they're going to continue to follow. Zuna had just used Repel previously, and he's going to get hit with the full damage of the Mega Inferno Bomb. They can follow up on the kill. These are all going to Cutie Pie. They are baking cakes left and right now. Benny's going to go down. A triple kill for Cutie Pie. They're coming up big.
Smithy does get in range to thread a nice ace in the hole right through the lines there, but still, this was XDG spreading out and Dignitas capitalizing on the positional mistakes here. Kiwi Kid right there lands his stun and dodges the cocoon. Just a very nice little sidestep. And then, as we said, Crumbs' Assault and Battery just came off cooldown, and he was able to capitalize once again. Wow, they're really going for everything here. The Baron's so low, and there's no smite for XDG.
Oh, he gets it, takes it down. Crumbs is able to get it. Smithy comes in, though. He's walking right on a minefield. Smithy! Oh, that was ballsy. Oh, the Sappy gets the ball! The ward was there. Oh, Kiwi Kid just tapped Cutie Pie on the shoulder. Like, nice job, man. Nice job.
This is why they wanted Jinx so badly. I was talking about them blocking that in early. Cutie Pie's, both the Dignitas wins are when Cutie Pie has Jinx, and he did not hesitate to go right back to that champion. 8-0. Dignitas are... Fans should be on their feet right now because they made a huge gold swing. That was like 6K almost gold swing that they got in the last few minutes here. Plus they have Baron buff. Really, just two actually positional mistakes there from XDG, and Dignitas chain it into kill after kill after kill and culminate with Baron. Just a really, really well played by Dignitas right there. Nice comeback.
Before their game versus Cloud9, the interview video showed them saying, you know, we will not disappoint. That's what Crumbs said. In 2014, Dig will not disappoint. And right now, they are doing a fantastic job of turning this game on XDG's head. In a matter of moments there, they didn't even have really an objective to fight it around. They just initiated.
They have such a good team for it, too, with, you know, Cutie Pie being able to chain kills with Jinx. And that last shot we just saw, he's such a sniper with a zap. Beautiful plays.
Got to make them count if you're going to go for the long shot. It's now 10-10 after it was 5-1. XDG Zuna was doing huge things for them in the early game, but the rest of the team coming together for Dignitas, that communication under Crumbs, I guess it's what they needed.
He did make the call in really both situations to go for the comeback play. The comeback play is always to just try and go all in on whoever you catch out. It happened to work out for them because Smithy was bottom farming. And, you know, that's kind of a mistake that I guess a lot of early AD carriers will make early in their careers. Double lift maybe even late into his career. But Smithy, just transferring down to that AD carry, was farming off by the wayside. And his team didn't group up, whereas Dignitas were able to capitalize really well. Ooh, will they be able to swing down and catch Benny here?
I don't know. They got to take the dragon. He's got a good minion wave, but he's up against. Well, he's got 2 minion waves.
All right, so he's just going to recall down there. And since Dignitas don't commit any resources, he cancels the recall as soon as he sees them back in lane. That might cost him, though. Renekton's on his heels.
Looking at Skara in the mid lane, right? Oh, actually,
no,
looking at Cruiser. I was looking at his inventory, and then I was like, hey, Cruiser and Benny are going for a walk.
Oh, everyone backs off. Vi and Annie just roam back up to mid here because of the push from XDG. I really like this. You can't have a split pusher without the rest of your team creating pressure somewhere else, or else your split pusher just has to run for his life. So they do a good job reacting there and shoving up mid, showing that much force mid, recalled all the resources from Dig from bottom to let Benny get out.
So Cruiser has a bit of a task for himself. He's definitely got to make the coast-to-coast run before Benny can get there on the team. We'll see if he can do that. Looking at their CS, 228 to 192, and Benny's still done a great job of actually being able to 1v1 Cruiser right now. So that makes it even harder for him to stop this.
Right, the game plan for XDG is still play to our strengths, go with a split push from Benny, and then try and have him gain distance from Renekton so that we can make a 4 vs 5 engage. Because we've got Gragas. That's a great engage. If he can split somebody towards us, then we'll turn that into the 4 vs 5 fight and take it. However, Dignitas now being ahead changes the situation. They're the ones with the hard engage, Flash Tibbers, and Crumbs with his Salt and Battery. So they have to play very careful.
We see Kiwi Kid with the Talisman of Ascension finished, Distortion on his mobility boots, so he can keep that initiation for the team going hard. We'll see what they can go for. They got one last time, but it looks like it's going to be really, I don't know what the word I wanted. Far and few between. There you go.
All right, so Baron buff has timed out. We've got another few minutes till the Baron comes back up then. It looks like both teams are actually content here to just shove the side lane. So Dignitas, eventually that turret only had a couple more hits on it. Yep. So Cutie Pie just going in for that one. Jinx is actually one of the safest champions to go for those just small hits on the turrets because she will get excited off the kill and then run away really fast.
Literally. Just runs right out. Bloodwater with his favorite item to really go for, Mikhail's Crucible. He always has that in his inventory. And we see everybody start getting those core items out. Mancloud's starting to get really big. That Void Staff finally finished.
That's a huge pickup here. With the combo of Rabadons and Void Staff is a very big power spike, especially with Gragas. So Mancloud's ultimate is going to tell a lot about who's going to win the team fight here. And it really is up to the split push action here. We'll have to see if Dignitas can hard engage and catch XDG before they're able to react.
Smithy's going to be left to clear out the bottom lane, or rather the bottom of the top lane. That one will always get you, but you can always correct it. We got a 1-3-1 split going on for XDG. And this is usually something you see from Dignitas when they're actually trying to get themselves into the base of the other team. But right now it's in defense of XDG. Everybody's in a gentleman's agreement to farm it out until they really see a problem happening. Or a mistake, and that mistake could be them going in on Dig. We see the Guardian Angel now, and the Red Elixir being picked up by Cutie Pie. They want this next fight to be a good one.
Yeah, well, what they're waiting for is forced action because of new objectives popping up on the map. That's going to be Baron and Dragon. Baron, only with 45 more seconds, is going to force some action here because neither team can afford to give it up right now. So what they should be doing is trying to leverage vision around that area of the map. Not only just around the Baron pit, but also in that red side jungle. Because you don't want to have to be face-checking bushes when Baron is up. That's when it's really crunch time here. And they're going to need to put some more wards down. You can see it's only like 2 wards outside of the base here for XDG. The map really dark for them is going to make it a very tense situation for the XDG team when Baron pops up and they have no vision of this entire area. It's really only 2 sweepers on Dignitas too. It's not like they have a whole bunch of sweepers, just 1 pink ward and a couple sweepers.
Let's see if they can get everything cleared out. They do want safe movement. If XDG gets a win on the fight, Dignitas does want a clear path to be able to run out or able to re-engage on these fights. As we look at a Baron fight, who really has it at this point with the AoE? Because both bring huge amounts to the table.
Yeah, so you always have to worry about steals when you go for one of these Barons. And a Gragas is probably the best champion for stealing that away, especially since he does have that power spike we talked about.
Right.
So his combo is going to help a lot. We'll have to see if the communication between him and Zuna is actually good enough that they help each other. But Elise in her own right is a really strong Baron stealing champion. So it's a very dangerous objective to go after since it does so much damage to your team while you're trying to tank it. And then if you end up in a 50-50 smite situation anyway, it's not really going to benefit you that much. That's why the vision is really the biggest part of that game.
Well, that's the game being played right now. It's almost not champions and abilities. It's who can grab the vision before we use them. The little mini game here at 32 minutes between these two teams. 53,000, let's just say 54,000 gold to 50,000. So great job by Dignitas to pull that back into their favor with a few consecutive dragons and a bit more map control towards about 20 minutes in the game.
Yeah, you can see both of them now starting to hover over there. This is going to be a more tense situation for the solos down there too, because Cruiser has to either join the rest of his team or make sure he has Benny in his sights at all times, because they don't want a 4vs5 situation. I like this though, this movement, because since XGG didn't have vision of Baron, they're so concerned about it that they commit several people to just staying up there full time, and it allows a free dragon, we can say that, for Dignitas here. They didn't have to expend any resources, just a couple of players heading down to that side.
Benny did back from the bottom lane, so that's the division you were talking about. They don't have that on him anymore. And you can see this is a time for Crumbs to back as well. They say, we're not engaging if we don't know where Benny is. Everybody go back and be safe. Zig's actually also with the Rabadons and the Void Staff, so Scar is getting himself up, even after having a bit of trouble in that mid lane and not getting his Gragas again. Yeah,
so they wanted Scar to hit that power point, but they also wanted a little bit more tankiness on Renekton. Now they've got the completed Randuins, and that's going to add a whole bunch for him tanking an auto-attack champion like Caitlyn. If he can get to Caitlyn, then it's very hard for her to deal with that and get him out of the way. So now that they've got a couple completed items.
Trying to get a cheeky shot into the Baron and make him angry. But he did it. No, he did it. It was that guy. All right, I'll attack him. But something else we see coming out in inventories now with a few of the changes is Banshee's Veils, as opposed to other magic resistance.
Well, I really like Banshee's Veil against high-impact mid laners like Gragas and like LeBlanc, because blocking one of those spells is way more than just a little bit of extra magic resist.
Right.
You block a whole bunch of damage with just that. Now we're finally going to see some forced action. The split push from XCG, they've committed to it. Benny's down bottom. So from this point on, Dignitas are going to be losing objectives unless they have the hard engage here. So what they're doing is swinging up top, and they're just going to try and do a little base race here. 4vs5 situation for XDG.
This is always my favorite type of movement because the pathing gets so chaotic right now for each team, and they almost were able to close in on Cutie Pie there, but Crumbs made the right move, and now everybody thinks they're ready for a Baron, so we're going to see Dig try for it.
Yeah, the pink ward's on the other side of Baron, so they don't see that ward until the sweeper comes out. Benny's working really well onto that turret. XCG have to make the call if they want to contest this.
Benny hasn't really built any attack speed, so he's not crushing these turrets down. They have to. Zuna's just on the other side, and they know it, Kobe.
Yeah, this is a really sticky situation for Dignitas because they've put themselves here. They have to do something.
Oh, he got Crumbs gets it. They try to get the re-steal, and it doesn't work. It is going to be Benny coming on the backside. It's an all-out face-to-face brawl. Zuna's going to be taken down in the end. We see Benny go down first. Skara has that impact power with his items finally built. A flash over the wall for Smithy. The zap slows him. They're going to have the vision. The dash forward from Cruiser, and he picks himself up the first kill of the game there.
I can't believe they went with that, forcing the 50-50 Baron. I mean, you just really have to put all your hopes onto Crumbs in that situation, and it paid off for Dignitas. Crumbs comes up huge.
That was almost less than 50-50 because Crumbs was like, oh, my team left. I got to dive back in and do this.
He's only got Vault Breaker plus Smite, whereas Zuna's got an Execute in his Spider from Q plus Smite.
Man.
Plus, he's got Gragas on his back. Woo. Very, very risky, but Dignitas come out with the miracle right there. They actually take the Baron and then double inhibitors. This is just a huge triumph for them.
Crumbs making calls. Give that guy your phone number because he makes the right ones.
So let's take a look at this. This is the combo from XDG. They should communicate it. It was a little bit early there from ManCloud. He adds all his damage in when it's maybe about 4,000. And Zuna goes in. This is a commitment after it's a Baroned up team. Wow, Zuna just got blasted out so quickly. I don't even know what happened.
And for Dig to do a Baron. For Dig to do Baron.
This is Dignitas
mind-blowing.
making that call.
They say, do we do Baron? No, we don't do Baron.
If I was playing that by the numbers, I probably still would have done the same thing from XDG. You know, they forced Dig into that situation by having their split push Shen. And, playing the numbers, it was probably the right call there, but they just weren't able to pull off the Baron there. It's so funny, how much rides on just getting that last hit on Baron.
It's like you did all that work just to give it to somebody else. A lot of gold grabbed up in there. 10,000 gold is now the pursuit of champions begins. They get the stun out of Kiwi Kid. He's trying to cycle the spells back around. You can see him throwing on the shield. They do not get it, though, but they have control now. They're in the driver's seat.
Exactly. 2 super minion waves pushing on the top side will take out a Nexus turret by themselves if left unattended. So Dignitas, really all they have to do is use that Ziggs to clear out waves and get turret damage. If XCG even try and defend, then they're going to lose out Nexus turrets.
It doesn't even look like there's a red side of the map right now with all these minions coming in, and Dignitas is just inhabiting every inch of it that they can. The inhibitor turret to go down following this. The third one, actually, that's going to be the 9th turret on the map. And it looks like, oh, they're going for the fight. Cutie Pie, the Guardian Angel is popped in the end, but that means they have time to reassess the fight. Great barrel placement. That was a beautiful job coming in, but it was actually Smithy to grab up on that kill. And it looks like they're going to be safe for the inhibitor, at least for a few more hits.
Cutie Pie is doing such a fantastic job this game. Yes, Crumb stole that Baron, but Cutie Pie has been really carrying the team fights after they catch people. The chase potential with Jinx
that was his
really
first death.
What got them to here. And I like his itemization. He knows all the hopes from Dig ride on his shoulders, so he gets a Guardian Angel.
A lot is riding on Dignitas right now, and it looks like the W will be as well in the win column for them. Coming out very strong riding off their Cloud9 win. They're able to take out XDG.
I love the comeback. Dignitas showed what a tenacious team they are, because they had a lot of troubles in the early game with Zuna making moves into all lanes and Crumbs having to try and catch up. But they turtled it out, and they held on till the mid game where they can actually take advantage of positional mistakes. And then they didn't hesitate. That was the key part. As soon as they saw someone out of position, they went for it. They went for the comeback play. Comeback plays paid off, and then Baron paid off as well. So very, very good job by Dignitas executing, but still fairly risky play.
Considering every lane pretty much lost, I mean, you gotta cut back to Benny saying, if Zuna ganks my lane and I get a kill, I will win that lane. And technically, he did win his lane, but it was just too much team synergy. It was that Dr. Jekyll this time from Dignitas, and they showed up big.
You're right. They really just, every time they needed to roll the dice in their favors, they got it.
Absolutely.
It was really fun to watch, though, especially Cutie Pie's chain kills at the end.
Yeah, getting the pat on the back there. You saw actually on the camera from Kiwi Kid coming in after he got the over the Baron zap. Everything, it just felt like it was flowing for them. The smiles are back on their faces. We said it. Jat said it when they were beating Cloud9. It looks like the old days.
And it looks like the old XCG maybe too, because we always used to talk about how they get ahead really far early game, and then they can't close out, even with the roll swap maybe.
Right.
Still have some issues to work on there.
And we got to look at our featured matchup. 5-4-4 for Zuna. At one time, I believe he was 5-0-1 or 5-1-1. But it was coming out for Crumbs, he was 0-3-10. But we have to remember he made that play.
I don't care what your score is if you get that Baron. If you get that Baron, we wipe the slate clean.
Mark it. Mark it. So it comes down to sometimes an instant pressure moment. You can control the whole game all you want, but that last moment, Kobe.
And the feeling, too, when you know, like, the game is riding on this Baron and it's so close like that, the feeling for the guy who gets the Baron kill is just, like, he's exalted. He's so happy.
They were getting toyed with, but they made the right decision. It was hard for XDG not to try for that. Like you said, it was something that you had to do, and sometimes you have to take the leap. Right now, we have to take a quick break, but when we return, Crumbs and I'm a Cutie Pie will join.